For this week's lesson, we're going to use just simple supplies for the project, and we're going to focus on blending our watercolor colors together. I'm using the tube watercolors just because I like the intensity of color that you get from them. And what you can do is I want you to choose like a color family. Okay, so what I mean by that is that, I've got variations of red, I've got a rose here, I've got a violet. Okay, so they're pretty similar kinds of colors. Okay, you might want to do an orange, a yellow, a darker orange, and let's see, I thought I had a harvest gold here. I think I always lose that one for some reason. But a harvest gold, or you could like a beige. Okay, see how those are in the same color family? Or you could do blues, various shades of blue. You might want to pull in a purple with that. Okay, so it really is up to you as to what you want to do. I've decided to use the reds. I mean, we do have Valentine's Day coming up, so if we want to do that sorts in preparation for that holiday, if you want to do the reds, that's fine. Okay, so you need a piece of watercolor paper, medium size to large size brush, paper plate if you're using your watercolor tubes, a bowl of water, and an ultra fine Sharpie. Now you can use a pencil, not on the background, but on the next step after the background dries, if you would like. That's up to you. I don't need both of these pieces of watercolor right now. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put out all of our colors, and you don't have to use a lot of paint because this just isn't going to take very much paint at all. And you want to put them not too far apart because we're going to be mixing different hues together. Okay, so this is my last one. It seems like it's a little stuck. Must have been a while since I've used this one. And looks like I need to do some surgery on that. So I'll just use these three. That'll work out fine. Okay, so what we're going to be doing for the background is we're going to be making 3 stripes with white in between them. Okay, now if you want to make it more complicated, you can do a series of little squares with white in between them, but I really think that the stripes would probably be easier for us. But again, that's your choice. Obviously on this project I'm giving you options. Okay, so let's do the first stripe, and we're going to blend. We've done something similar to this before when we made the accordion flower garden, a concertina. But anyway, you want to decide where you want your first stripe to be. And we're going to leave white around all of the edges. And then you're just going to paint that with water. That will help us blend. And then we're going to start out with a color. And you want to go up and down with these, because eventually we'll have these be portrait. Okay, and then you'll paint that a little bit, and then you're going to bring in another color. I'm going to go over this just so that we have different colors blending together. And it's fine if you have a jagged edge there. That's no problem at all. And then you're just going to work with the water. Let's try to keep our stripe kind of even in terms of height or width once we turn it to. We don't want these to be real dark because we are going to be doing using our Sharpie on top of it for a design. All right, so now let's bring some of that purple in here and blend that in. I think I'm going to make these just a little bit wider. I think I was a little off, but that's okay. We'll blend it all in. Yeah, I like that size better. Make sure you leave a white spot here. And let's see, I started off with this, so I want to catch it before it gets too dry. But through the use of color, as you can see, we're starting to divide the stripe into sections. Okay. All right, so now it's time for our third stripe. Excuse me, our second stripe. And so we don't want to just use the same colors, you know, in the same order. So I'm going to start with purple this time. And we're going to leave a little white there and make it about the same width. I know what I forgot to do. Got so excited about using color, I forgot to put just water on here. There we go. This is what I would like about working with watercolors. They're very forgiving. Okay, now we'll go back to our purple. And we'll add some of our red. So we're doing the same sort of technique, and you can go back over with the same color. You don't want to work your paper so much that it starts pilling up too much. Okay, and then you can look and you can say, well, maybe I want this to be a little more vibrant. There we go. Okay, now we're ready for our final row. Again, you want to leave a space in between, and you want to leave white space on the bottom here, here, and here. Okay, so now we're going to go back in with the red. pretty red. Try to make them about the same height. Got a piece of fuzz there. Okay. Kind of blending them in. Come back with my red. Okay, so now, those are pretty. So now we're going to clean out our brush. Once you get it cleaned out, dry it, make sure that no paint is coming off. All right, and now we're going to let this dry. Now our paper is dry, and so we want to just kind of clean it off to make sure we don't have any crumbs on it or lint like I usually do. And what we want to do is start thinking, using our different color blocks to think about areas to do patterns within each area. So, for example, with this one down here, I'm just going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to fill up the space just by making ever larger rectangles. I'm going to do one more. Okay, and I think I'll do another one in the smaller one. There, that looks better. Looks like a good use of space. Over here, perhaps I'm going to just do straight lines for a little bit. Sorry about the dog barking in the background. She does that sometimes. So these can be very simple. Let's see, let's do dots up here. Random circles. You can make them in rows if you want, or you can just make it scattered. But again, you're kind of using the different color blocks as your guide. Okay, so getting back to the idea of Valentine's, maybe we want to do kind of a cool heart in one of the blocks. We can do something like this. Do Make a little scallop. That would look interesting. Making these kinds of patterns really helps with your focus. Make sure that you breathe while you're doing them. Sometimes we hold our breath when we're concentrating, so we want to practice breathing correctly. Let's see. We can do like a flower or just leaves in one. You can fill in dots. You can do lines of a different sort. If you like your handwriting, you think it's pretty good. Mine is, sketchy at best. You can write somebody's name if you want, or you can write a sentiment. I'm going to kind of keep up the theme of love. And then you can do some lines in there. Sort of jazz it up a little bit. do another kind of flower. Like this. And then you can have the stem. You don't really have to keep within the bounds. You can go into the white spot if you want. Just stepping back to sort of look and think about what else I want to do with my remaining areas. Sort of have this as a frame. With flowers and plants going over it. can move your paper around as you're making your patterns. Okay, so I only have one more up here. And I'll think about what I want to do. I've got a lot of like just lines here, so I think I need a shape right here. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do a half of a heart here and half of a heart here. Kind of echo the borders that I put around here. So that'll make some nice shapes in that space without being too redundant about that. And then to sort of tie it in with our love down here, I'm going to use the same diagonal lines. I want them to be opposite. It took my brain a little bit to figure out which way I wanted them to go. There we go. This part looked a little vacant. So I like that. All right. There we go. So each of you will have a very unique project. No two will be alike, I'm sure. Simple, but I think very attractive. So thank you very much.